Hey family, so happy Monday. I do want to take a second before we get into your pouch just to kind of touch base with you guys and just give you a feel for what to expect going forward. So I know you noticed the difference in the thumbnail. That's because I can absolutely see that you guys are more likely to pick these when I use food. So I'm not calling y'all big back, but it feels a little bit big back to me. And I'm not judging because I like the food thumbnails as well. I think they come out nicer, but y'all definitely skip over when it's just like an inanimate object versus something you feel like you can eat. So I hear you, I see you. So we switched it up. Also, um, to piggyback off of that really quick, you're going to see a switch with the one we do on Wednesdays as well. So that one is going to be food based going forward. I've already got the theme. And if you don't see that final memo stamp one, that's because it's members exclusive. I haven't decided which, like if I'm going to just roll with it since it's done, or if I'm going to just use the food one that I know y'all want. But either way, it's going to be available. It may just be under memberships. I got that confirmation because FedEx is just like shooting down the road at like 100 miles per hour randomly when I press film just now. So I want to use that last one. And if you're really called to it, then again, it will be under memberships for sure. Now, because we're switching to foods as well, I want you guys to know we're going to make it an easier to understand theme. I know it was a little confusing because we were trying to be timeless, but we also wanted to be on theme with the thumbnail. So it's just going to be your standard pick a card tarot reading for today. Whenever you find this, we'll just use the theme based on the day we're premiering it, right? We're doing this one on Monday, so the theme is Moon Day, right? But whenever you find this, whatever day you find this, this can be your confirmation for today or tomorrow, whatever your intention is. Now, in us cleaning that up and just making it timeless like most of the other readings are, we're still going to roll with themes associated with the planet. So emotions is a lunar theme, right? That's why we have the milky, nourishing vibe. So we're going to see what happens, like what's going to happen. And we're going to see this person's current feelings and anything you could do to nourish the situation, nourish the connection, right? So it is a love reading. That's the plan going forward unless something changes. But I want you to be aware that you're picking today with someone specific on your mind to see what's going to happen, their current feelings, and what you can do to nourish the connection. Okay? I'm looking with love. Some of you may slip in with your other relationships. Okay? So I'm going to hold it up now so we can get to it. Pile number 1 is the glass of milk. It can be dairy or non-dairy, your preference. Pile number 2 is the vanilla ice cream cone. Pile number 3 is the vanilla bean milkshake. Pile number 4 is Greek yogurt, or it can be non-dairy yogurt, your preference, okay? I'll give you a moment to make your selection. And if you need more time, go ahead and pause the video. All right, pile 1, my glass of dairy or non-dairy milk, whatever you prefer. Let's take a look at what's gonna happen with this person, their current feelings, and what would nourish this today. This is specific to current energy, all right? So let me get an overview for you. Something about travel, okay? All right, I got an incoming energy of the flower, moon, and blooming. So maybe it is, maybe something about traveling. Someone's traveling, whether to you, away from you. There's a theme of travel around the connection. And there's also an energy of needing to open up more to bloom and nurture the connection. Nourish the connection literally. So I don't know, something about flowers, something about just the season of opening up more. All right, so what is at the bottom? A maturing energy of creating. Okay, Feels like effort, right? Feels like this is an energy today. You can expect a little more effort, and I say a little more because it was an incoming energy of bloom. So if you're dealing with somebody that's a little more shy, they're getting more comfortable with you. Okay, it just takes time for them to fully bloom, if that makes sense. But they're figuring out a way to show you how interested in you they are, or how invested in a connection with you they are, without, I guess, overstepping their boundaries, right? Because we want this person to be a little more comfortable as well. Let me pull more and see what's going on. What's gonna happen? Is this person's current feelings? It does feel like someone that's growing to be more and more fond of you, okay? It feels stable though. It doesn't feel like that hot and heavy, falling fast and hard energy. It just feels like someone that's slowly over time getting to know you and just really liking you more. Easygoing, super easygoing day when it comes to this person. Four Swords talks about rest. It talks about relaxation, anything that you need to do to recover in any way, regardless, depending on your situation. Okay. But it feels like a person that's trying to prioritize making sure you know how much they are invested in you, despite their natural tendencies. Because I get a really quiet, possibly shy vibe on the table. Not disengaged. If you're dealing with somebody that's disengaged and just disinterested, that's not this at all. Because flowers incoming feels like someone that's opening up more. If it's just been a stalemate and stagnant, I'm not talking about that. Leave it alone. I have other readings on the channel, but this person feels a little quiet. You probably picked that milk, I'm realizing, because some of you are like, well, if I'm gonna pick based on my person, let me pick the one that's more like their personality. And it was the more like standard general one. Like, this person's probably not very exciting, they're pretty easygoing and things like that, possibly to their detriment. Okay, because right now this combination actually feels like someone that's trying to open up a little more because they feel like they might be self-sabotaging. Like, they, in their mind, they can tell you think they're boring. Like, if they were watching us, me and you, right, together, as you pick this, as I read this, they'd be like, see, I knew that pile one thought I was boring. This is my confirmation, because they feel it. Okay, so let me see what else is going on with this person. How is this person feeling from my pile one? Yeah, we'll take the bottom in a second. You know, something about steps. You got 3, 4, then 4, 5. Baby steps, right? Taking it easy. Page of Wands is someone that is really excited and passionate. It's someone that possibly is getting messages or just feeling in their soul that they need to move a little more aggressively, like a little more, be more active when it comes to you. But I promise you, the dominant energy that I'm getting, and I'm just leading with that one for time's sake, it's not that person's nature. They are not, like, you're not going to get chaotic energy from them. That's just not who they are. They're trying very hard, though, to be King of Wands, right? And then I think it is interesting because there's certain areas of this person's life, maybe it caught you off guard how this person is behaving with you, because, like, they're very creative, they're very open, they're very extroverted, possibly, right? A King of Wands is someone that's very dominant in certain areas of life, but like when it comes to love and romance, I think they may be in unfamiliar territory, so they're a little more shy, a little more timid, a little bit more quiet. And I think some of you, it's got you spooked, like, that is not this King of Wands that I'm used to. And it's okay. This person realizes that they're being a certain way with you. That's just how they are when it comes to getting to know people. So let me see. Tell me more about what's going on with this glass of milk for my pile number one. What's this person feeling? And so far, I could already tell you, pile one, that you just need to be a little patient with this person if you have that level of patience. It just depends on how interested in this person you are, how much time you have for this person to open up. I don't think it's anything unhealthy about the person taking their time to open up. I just don't encourage you to be dealing with someone where they're not giving you anything, right? Whether it's because they're disinterested and are too afraid to say, or if it's because they're just traumatized and wounded and they're not giving you anything to work with, right? They're not like You know what I mean? They're not giving you a chance to really get to know them because they're so afraid of you being seen. I'm not talking about that. That's shadow that I discourage, right? I encourage you to leave that alone, right? Because Gemini talks about someone that would be very good at communicating, right? It's 100% this bloom energy actually rules the third house. So it's someone that expresses just slowly, just surely over time, right? A little more here today, a little more tomorrow. And then one day they're fully bloomed into that flower. And you're like, I'm glad I was patient because now I know like it's genuine with this person and the relationship we have, right? So what I have here, I got mutable. You may be dealing with someone with mutable placements for sure. That would be Gemini dominantly. That would be Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, okay? And that could also be like relevant seasons just in general. But this person's maturing, right? I always associate mutable energy with maturing because they close cycles, they close seasons. So this person is the best version of themselves when they've been in a long-term connection, right? Like, I actually appreciate this person on the table for you, for all of you, because y'all be going through it romantically. That's why we do a lot of these love readings. This is someone that gets better over time in a relationship because now they have data to work with, like, right? My mutable placements, they're brainiacs, right? They've learned more. They know what makes you tick. They know what you do and don't like. So over time, they get better. They get more nurturing, more nourishing towards you, more at ease, more comfortable because they know you. Right? Like, I guess some of you are dealing with like someone you're dating early stages and you're basically a stranger to them. Person feels slow to move. Mutable signs are like they're at their best towards the end because that's just how they're born, literally. So they're not going to be hot and heavy, right? They're not going to be really into you and then fizzle out. They kind of find their closing mate. Not saying all mutable placements, but I'm saying that's this person's energy and how they're hitting the table. They're looking for somebody that they're gonna like be with for a long time because dating seems to give this type of person anxiety. Okay, it just does. So I've got Chiron, which talks about healing. This person may be traumatized from their past a little bit as well, like going a little too quickly and then that not working out for them in a worse way. So they're trying to work through that and build up the energy to trust you more. I'm going to repeat it again. If this person's not giving you much to work with, I would just move on, right? If this person's disengaged, detached, using their trauma as a crutch to avoid actually engaging you and deepening the connection, that's not on you to deal with. If this person's not ready to heal, I have Scorpio, which is fixed, right? It talks about the intensity of going deep with somebody. Okay, so that's this person's energy. The deeper they go, the harder they fall, the better they are in a relationship, the more attentive they are in a relationship because they're more invested, right? This actually is the sign that rules investments. Actually, I would put both of these together in terms of invested time, energy, and things like that. Okay. All right. I also see here, we talk about feelings. Something about money. I don't know if this person has trauma associated with their relationships and money, but there's a thing here, okay? Because I brought that up. There's some trauma there associated with people, their relationships, and money that they're processing through, and it's affecting how they're engaging with you early stages, okay? All right, so let me pull more. What would nourish this beyond my pile one just being a little more patient with this glass of milk? And like I said, patient is relative. Like, if you're not getting what you need, it's up to you. But those of you where this person's just not as quick pace as you, I don't see anything wrong with dialing it back just a little bit. I got the new moon in Pisces, which says meditate and contemplate, right? Being a little more relaxed, being a little more at ease, like that Four of Swords implies, giving this person time to bloom, the relationship time to form, right? When we talk about maturity of creation, it's giving the relationship time to form to where you know each other enough to go deep with your trauma, to get to know each other's habits, because that's where this person's head is. They're just thinking they need time, knowing they need time, but they're still trying to like accelerate themselves because they know it's not fair to you if they're super slow and traumatized, if that makes sense. That's what I got. And it's not lost on me that I have another mutable placement on the table. I got the full moon in Pisces, which says balance, spirituality, and practicality. So, it talks about balance. It talks about fairness, right? Based off of the cards, not the sign, right? So Virgo Pisces axis talks about our health and wellness, right? Our mind as well as our physical body. It's our routines, it's our habits, it's how deep we go with someone. When we talk about 12th house energy, it's how we, two of confirmation, it's how we live day to day with someone, right? And get to know them. So everything that you would need in a relationship happens on that axis, okay? And it just feels like you're gonna just have to get to know this person and take your time getting to know this person, getting to know your traumas, getting to know your habits, okay? Timeline wise, I would say I would grade this person by seasons to help you understand where you're wasting your time. At the end of each season, you should know, okay, we've progressed. I don't want to make it like a chart, but some of you have difficulty like moving on when you should. So if you need one, then make one. Like, okay, it's at the end of this season, we're progressing a little more. I'm getting, if it's been a year, it's over, because 6 months is really the halfway mark. If I'm being honest, new moon in Pisces to the full moon in Pisces is about 6 months, because it's from Pisces season to Virgo. It's about 6 months. Okay. Now, our lunar nodes are in Pisces, North Node, South Node, Virgo. At the end of that transit, because remember, this is a timeless message. Some of you may find this towards the end of that transit. It's like next year, my time, okay? By the end of that transit, you're going to know for sure if you should just leave this person alone completely, okay? For sure. Whether it is someone you're trying to start a relationship with or someone you've been in a relationship with and it's just not going anywhere, all right? That's what we talk about right there. For whatever reason, I don't have love cards. I don't know why, but it feels like this reading today just didn't want love decks. So all I have is Melanin Pop, and then I'm going to get your advice before I close you out. I feel like we got a lot, right? What can you do to nourish this? I'll get that more from the advice, but tell me more about this person's feelings. What's going to happen today? What my pile number 1 needs to know today. Chiron is healing. Time heals all wounds. I have sunflowers on the channel. You may be called to those, but time heals all wounds. I don't know what else to tell you. I may not, I'm not pulling anymore. I think I'm going to leave this alone because it's becoming redundant a little bit, and I don't want these to be super long. I've got groups and family, community. If you feel like you want to consult with family members, community members, people you know, friends that are in healthy relationships, that would be good to do. Like people that know you and this person, get their perspective on it. Like, don't tell all of your business to random strangers, but counseling, like depending on how far in your relationship you are, counseling, possibly therapy could be a thing. Like when we're talking about those of you that may be like engaged and this person's not like wanting to take that next step fast enough or trying to get engaged, whatever it is. Because it just, everything on the table, this person feels like they just need time to integrate you into their family, their community, to build a family, to build a community with you. It just is what it is. And that's natural. That's normal. It just feels like your timelines are not necessarily cohesive. They're not matching, and it may be causing friction. Okay? But this person just needs time. So give me the advice on what my pile number 1 can do to nurture this connection. And you know what? Sometimes, y'all, when I say give them time, that doesn't mean time with you, right? Like if this is someone that's truly for you, you can walk away while they heal. If they need healing, like you can absolutely walk away, give this person space to heal. And if they are for you, like it'll circle back, right? And if they're not, then obviously you'll move on, they'll move on. But if this person's just not in a space to give you what you need and it's affecting you, like you're overly compromising, that might not be the healthiest, okay? But all in all, my pile 1s, you're being told to loosen your grip on this person, okay? We got coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. Time heals all wounds. I don't know what else to tell you. Loosen your grip, though. That's clear. That's direct, right? And it says forge, don't follow, pave a new path, be the leader you wish to have. Be patient with this person, right? If you want them to open up more, maybe you open up first, right? If you want them to be a little more considerate, maybe you be considerate first. If you're grabbing and trying to cling to somebody that's not in a place, a space to be held on to, whether it's the disinterest on the furthest end of the shadow, or they're just not in the right mental space, right? They're not along enough in their healing journey to be ready for love with you. Forge, don't follow. It says to pave a new path, right? One where you can get what it is you need. All right. All right. So I'm going to move on to pile number 2. All right. My pile number 2, the vanilla ice cream cone. Look at you. What will happen? What's this person's current feelings, and what would nourish this connection? Okay, for a second, I didn't know what I was about to ask. So that could be this person's energy. They may just not know what's going on. They may not know what's going on with you, what you think of them. It's not anxious. It's just a lack of clarity. So let me see what's going on with this vanilla ice cream cone. If you're new here, I usually, when we're using food, especially since y'all like that, I call the person that you selected typically the food item. So like this vanilla ice cream cone is them, and you're pile 2. So what's gonna happen right now today? What's the current energy of my pile 2 with this vanilla ice cream cone? Current feelings. There we go. Dream in reverse. All right. Well, and what is this? An incoming energy of a supermoon and a wild card. Shock. I don't know what the surprise is. It feels like a person that's shocked either that you're real. They are shocked that like they're not dreaming, if that makes sense. Because it's almost like I don't know if you're gonna like run into this person today after a while, or if they hear from you after a while, but it just feels like someone that's very surprised in their feelings towards you. Like they're surprised that it's not like a dream. And it could simply, because we're talking about feelings, they could simply be shocked at how they're feeling about you just in general, because they hadn't dreamed that they would feel this way about somebody. That's another spin on it. So let me get in this tarot and see what's going on. You're definitely my moon day pile. You got moon at the bottom of your reset. I love it. Somebody may be lunar in nature, right? Prominent moon in the natal chart, or heavy Cancer placements. I got a 5 of Swords. Look at you. Let me see. 5 of Swords is kind of like, it's a little bit of a self-sabotaging energy. Okay, I'll do that. I got the 9 of Pentacles. Okay. It's someone that doesn't feel like, okay, got it. This is someone that's single. This is not somebody you're talking to. They're shocked that they're interested in you the way that they're interested in you. I'll give you that much. Now, it feels like someone that's like, I definitely self-sabotaged with pile 2, and I sure hope that I can recover, right? 5 of Swords is the self-sabotage. The Lovers is where we have interest, where we have mutual interest. 4 of Swords is when we just kind of calm down a little bit. Okay, possibly time to yourself. We do have the 9 of Pentacles. We do have the 9 of Cups. Those are both very, very single energies. And it also feels like if it's someone that hasn't made it to the point of self-sabotaging, that's a fear, that's a concern, right? It's someone that's hoping they don't do that. And goal number 1 right now seems to be like, let me find out if pile 2 is single, if they don't know that, okay? And if they do, it's let me make sure that pile 2 knows that I'm single. Hold on, I lost that thumbnail. Where did it go? Did I close you away? I did. Look at me. This is someone that's this is somebody that's thinking that you might like walk away, hang up on them or something. I don't know what's that all about. Why they feel like you would be like this hostile energy towards them. Okay, because some of you, this person actually kind of has a vibe a little bit where they think that you're stuck up a little bit, right? Like they like you, but they feel like you might have you might look down on them just a little bit, okay? That took a turn. All right, tell me more about what's going on with this vanilla ice cream cone from my pile tube. What's gonna happen today with this person? Feels like might be the confirmation. Like, yeah, I'm not dreaming. This person's available. Where we're talking very early stages, and kind of looking to confirm whether or not they've self-sabotaged, looking to confirm whether or not they have an opportunity to be with you. Okay, like that's kind of where their feelings are prominently. I know those are more thoughts, but like that's the concern, right? All right, so we got be bold to make the first move, which is here. Okay, what do you need to release? Emotions are running high. It's creating anxiety for this person, is this thing, and we've got it's time to release negativity. So if this is someone that feels like they may have offended you in some way, feels like someone that may think that they've offended you in some way, okay? And if like you're fighting with somebody, or there's been a miscommunication with you and like your crush or somebody you're dating, that's what's on their mind. That's what they're concerned about, is how do I recover from this, right? I even see here like where they're like, how do I make sure pile 2 doesn't think I'm as selfish as I came across? I see that. Right, because this is someone that's prioritizing themselves, their needs. When we talk about relationships, their career, it's actually somebody that would think that they're better than you because of their career, like would think that their job is better than yours kind of vibe. I don't know, like maybe that's right, because I got the Lovers and the Devil as 2 of my major arcana, the only 2 on the table. And the Lovers is ruled by Gemini when we talk about communication, when we talk about being on the same page. And then the Devil is ruled by Capricorn, which talks about your career, right? It's your career, your social status, your reputation. So it's almost somebody that may have unintentionally come across like they think they're better than you, or sees you as doing that. And it's like, we need to, like, it's someone that wants to talk. That's why we have all these thoughts. They're like, nah, I gotta nip this now and just see what this person's head is, right? Like, I don't want it to be intense. I don't want it to be awkward. So let me see what's going on with pile 2. Okay. All right. Let me see more. What's gonna happen? Feels like, I don't want to say confronting, because that seems excessive, but it's definitely somebody that's gonna talk to you about whatever is on their mind that they think is a miscommunication or misconception about them or you, whatever. Give me more on this person's current feelings. Leo, yeah, they want you to see their true personality. They're like, no, I want pile 2 to see me for who I am. I'm not how I come across or how I unintentionally came across. This person could have Leo placements. We could be talking about Leo season, okay? Okay, we're talking about a Leo, like Sun in Leo. We could also be talking about Gemini and Capricorn placements. Those are the 3 I have on my table. I'll take this. Fire signs can be that way. I know, like, it's funny because we kind of have all of the signs that technically can be that way. With Gemini, Capricorn, we have Leo, we have Aries. And Aries can be very I, me, 9, okay, as can Leo, but it's just different. It's a different perspective in how they come across. So that's your confirmation. I'm also getting here that these could be moon placements. So this person could be any combination of these. For those of you that need that confirmation that you're in your right place, right space. Now, this person, even if they came across that way, even if there's conflict, this person seems to think that you two are kind of like match made in heaven. Like they feel like sun and moon, right? The sun to the moon to the sun. Like you work well, like eclipses. Okay, like this person really is fond of you. They just don't know. It's either that they're not sure if you're fond of them still after whatever, or just in general because of how they come across, or if like, I don't know, it's a weird energy on table. Let me pull from this other deck. I don't want to dwell on this. That said, action, lots of action. When we talk about what's going to happen, showing you their real personality, right? They may talk to you, try to be a little more casual, a little more funny, whatever. but it's very active, right? Aries is the first cardinal sign. This person could, okay, there it is. I think this person might have a cardinal moon for sure. I didn't catch that. That was me. Because if they don't have a moon in Scorpio, or like I mentioned here, the cardinal moon would be Aries, it would be Capricorn, it would be Cancer and Libra, okay? But we have a teacher. So next move might be to just kind of teach you who they are, how they are, whether it's just through interaction and expressing themselves. They may kind of rely on a friend. The lovers could be partnerships that kind of like, you know how people are, they're like, hey, go tell Pal 2 that I'm not like that. Like go talk me up to Pal 2 a little bit so that they're interested. That's kind of what I get. Okay. And as far as what you could do to nourish this is be a little more open-minded, be willing to learn, be willing to teach. Whether, and I know that sounds very formal, very strict, but like listen to this person as they try to teach you who they are, right? As they interact with you, and then express yourself in a way that you feel is portraying you accurately, right? Like make sure you're mindful of how you may be coming across to this person. Yeah, because I got, would you accept? Someone's gonna apologize or make a romantic gesture, an offer, or even go deeper into the connection of a higher commitment. Some of you here had your first fight. That's cute. And then it's gonna be better, and that may be what makes it really exclusive, right? You kind of have your first fight and you're like, yeah, I mean, if we made it past the first fight, we kind of together now. It is what it is. Good for you. But it feels like somebody that's just kind of ready to kind of make that deeper commitment, prove that they're more interested in you than they seem to think that you believe they would be for whatever reason that I mentioned. Okay. Because I was going to pull more, but I mean, it just is what it is. Yeah. Right when I checked my time, I was at 11 minutes and 11 seconds of your pile. So this person, yeah, I mean, they feel like, yeah, they in their mind, this vanilla ice cream cone says like pile 2 is definitely my soulmate. I feel like it's gonna work. There's just something that's off about the energy right now that we need to take care of. Okay. Give me what advice my pile 2 could do to nourish the connection, please. There we go. Star Keeper, it says cosmic ancestors see the light by staying grounded. I mentioned being mature. Teachers are wise. They have knowledge. They're mature. They're open-minded. They're willing to learn as well as teach and communicate, right? It's saying to stay grounded when dealing with this person so that you can work things out. I've got the 7 star sisters, which says birthing creations, tapestry of life and expression. I mentioned friends. Gemini actually rules twins and 3rd house of siblings. Maybe you can get advice from like a sibling, potentially a sister or someone you consider to be a sister regarding this situation, because it's like, what could you do to nourish this? Be grounded and express yourself in a healthier way and rely on your support. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to pile number 3. All right, my pile 3, vanilla bean milkshake. We're gonna see what will happen in this person's current feelings about you, and then we're gonna see what you can do to nourish this, to keep on our moon nurturing energy. All right, so let me just take a look and get you an overview. I will be referring to your person as the vanilla bean milkshake. And I will be referring to you as your pile number, which is 3. So tell me what's going to happen for this message that my pile 3 needs today when they find this. We got a maturing energy of create. If you were hesitating on whether you wanted 3 or 4, just stick it out for 4, because some of you heard me say I'm going to call your person the vanilla bean milkshake. And we're like, oh, no, I wouldn't describe them as that. I know which one I'm going to go to, so just go to that one. It's fine. But if you felt like you would resonate with this, you're good to go, okay? I got a maturing energy of a renewal, of a blue moon. So there's something happening, there's something moving regarding you, this person, this connection, because we've already created something, something's already been renewed. So this could be someone you've reconnected with, and I do read in a timeless sense, so I might be predicting, right? Like I may be making sure you know like what will happen. You're going to reconnect with this person. It's going to be renewed, if that's the question. Okay. All right. So let me pull more. Yeah, because the justice could technically be union. It is justice systems, legal systems. It rules the seventh house, where we connect formally on paper. Okay. Some of you are wanting to know if this person's gonna take it all the way there in a connection. This looks like a most likely yes. Like when we talk about engagement and things like that. So what is this Vanilla Bean Milkshake's current feelings? This card came out. Everybody's tired. Everybody's resting and healing and recovering. That's kind of their feeling, is they're tired. They're trying to recover, especially when we're talking about somebody that's really busy, really active, right? Someone with a lot of responsibilities and possibly power. This is someone that would be considered to be very important at their job, whether they're in a leadership role or not. Like they're tired, just in general. So tell me more what's going on with my pile 3. Yeah, and despite them being really tired, though, they're still thinking about you. They're still worried about you, especially when we talk about someone that may have not seen you in a while. When I talk about reconnecting, this is someone that desperately wants to reconnect with you. And when we talk about people that are together already, interacting consistently, this person's like, when I get off work, when I finish my tasks, the only thing I want to do is rest with pile 3. Like I just want to spend all my time with pile 3. That's it. Like I don't want to do anything else. That's just what I want to do. Okay. And I honestly, this is exactly this person's mentality, regardless of if you're together or not. Yeah, 4 Wands is when we get a home. Some of you, this person, I know we're looking for feelings, but I don't control the energy. This person's working really hard because they want a stable home with you, right? 4 Wands is a marriage card, right? Haha. It also talks about where couples move in together, right, to a happy home. So that's kind of this person's perspective. I'm realizing some of you did want 4 instead, or you may want 4 as well. Obviously, you're watching this, I'm doing these back to back. We'll see when we get there, but you've got 3 4s on the table. Okay, so that could be a symbolic number. I'll even give you guys that twin flame label. People call the 4 Wands one of those cards, and especially since I have it here with the 2 of Cups and the Emperor, which is in fact divine masculine in energy. So if you're asking about someone you would consider to be divine masculine in nature, this is someone that feels like they're preparing, right? Blue moon is once in a lifetime opportunity. This could be something this person is experiencing. That could be what they feel like they've experienced with you. But again, they're adjusting, they're working, okay? And they're balancing their priorities with the full moon in Pisces. When we talk about timelines, that full moon in Pisces will in fact be it's an eclipse. It's in September, okay? So past, incoming, whenever you find it, that's a relevant time of year. Actually, when we talk about the 3rd quarter, that's kind of in alignment. But when we talk about show the world the real you, you'll see something, hear something. This person will kind of show you how they feel in some way around this full moon in Aquarius, for those of you real time, because that's coming up soon, okay? All right, let me see. Let me pull more. What will happen? What is this Vanilla Bean Milkshake's current feelings about my pile number 3? They know they have to adjust their approach to you for sure, just in general. They're figuring that out though. They're not quite sure what they're gonna do or how. They just know that they're gonna have to do something, okay? We got air energy here. That's Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. I've got Gemini, okay. lots of energy here. We talk about the end of spring might have been relevant. And Mercury. All right. Well, look at you. I've got, let me do this. I'm trying to like make sure the tables, this person's really trying to restructure something. Like there's something that's disorganized that they're just trying to get together. If you don't feel like they're making you enough of a priority, there's like something, because you know, when we talk about communication, like all of that, like all three of these are communication. All three of these are Gemini energy, right? Mercury rules that sign, air, that's the first one on here, and then there. So heavy Gemini, heavy communication, heavy third house energy. You may have a pile. You may be being told to go to one of the Mercury ones. I'm revamping those this week, so go to the one on Wednesday. All right, it'll be on Mercury Day, which is Wednesday. I'm shifting it to a more career reading. So I don't know why that's relevant. Maybe that's where your priorities need to be, but there's no way this comes out unless you're supposed to be going to those readings, okay? So at the bottom here, I have fixed signs. So Aquarius, right? Fixed air sign is Aquarius, but that is Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. If any of those are dominant in your chart, you're in the right place, right space. So this person's set on what they think of you. They're set on where they're going with you. That's the thing you need to know. Okay, they're set in what they think of you. They set in where they feel like you're headed. It feels like they're headed to stability with you. They're just working, adjusting, trying to make it real, right? When we talk about creating and renewing, they're just wanting it to be a real foundation. When we talk about balancing spirituality and practicality and being realistic, okay? All right, so yeah, because even at the bottom of your reset here, I got tradition, which is very much Four of Wands energy, okay? So what will happen, this person's wanting to get to the point where you two are living together at a minimum, okay? They're looking ahead to possibly engagement and even marriage. Like that's where their head is already. I don't know who you're asking about. If this is a crush, it's someone that kind of knows like, hey, I'm really interested in this pile 3. So like, let me make sure I'm stable enough, because like once I knock out whatever project, once I have more free time at work, like I want to spend the rest of my time, like I said earlier, with pile 3, and I want them to be to my house. I want them to move in with me. I want them always here so that when I'm not working, I can spend all my time with them. Okay. Feels like a really busy bee person. Okay. Tell me more about pile number 3. Beach. Yeah, ocean, water, cleanse, force, and subconsciousness. Someone that wants to spend their downtime with you. Okay. And look, I mean, they want you, this is somebody that's trying to get you alone. They're trying to get you to their house, to their apartment, where they live, okay? We got the kinky energy here. We got the fantasy energy here. What's underneath? We got a parrot. I have those on the channel. Oh, okay, they're making sure I know where to tell you to go. Okay, redirections come through. Those of you that are channel members, because I may surprise you and not do the money career one. So anyway, pile 3, you have there is a stamp with a parrot on it. That's a Mercury themed reading. I think I'm gonna make it exclusive to members. So if you're not a member, just go to the parrot readings. I'm certain you'll get something. Go to the other Mercury readings that are not. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But that's just a message from spirit, your spirit guides. That's where they're wanting you to go. Those are some high pressing messages for you, okay? But someone that wants to talk to you all the time. All the time. And I don't know if this vanilla bean milkshake person talks a lot, but even if not, they want to talk to you all the time. Okay? So if they haven't done that yet, it's because they don't want it to be weird. They don't want it to freak you out, but they just want to talk to you all the time. They want you around all the time. They want all their downtime to be with you. They definitely fantasize about you in a sensual way. All right? So let me get your advice. I kind of like this pile. It wasn't nothing chaotic. It wasn't anything crazy. So tell me, give me advice for pile 3 regarding this vanilla bean milkshake. I know I'm knocking everything over. I'm trying to get a good shuffle, and I'm doing a very bad job of it. I'll take both of those, and then we'll see. I have the Great Severing, which is Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. If you get mad, if this is someone you're actually with and you're dating and you're together and you get mad because they're working, stop that. Because I mean, it just is what it is. The Emperor is here. Okay, it's saying to soften to love. Be gentler with this person, because I feel like they're doing the best that they can. When we talk about Mars energy, anger, and conflict, you might want to stop doing that. That's probably why they're sending you to the love readings and the parrot, because it feels like if this person's busy and you're not, like if this person, I don't want to say this person has a life and you don't. That's not it at all. It just feels like this person has a lot more going on than you, apparently. And like your attention is being called to where you could be doing. That's probably why I'm sending you to the Mercury messages. Definitely going to be something in that parrot stamp for sure. I know it's there. I just looked at it like literally 2 seconds ago when I lost the thumbnail in the other pile. And then go to the parrot just in general. Okay. And then go to the one that is going to be public for sure, which is going to be the Mercury. What's it? It's right here. I can tell you. Mercury Money Magic. That's going to be the one. And your stamp that's probably going to be your stamp that's going to be members exclusive is PAL 4. That's the 4 that they're sending you to. There's other symbolism here for you guys, but the 4 that they're sending you to, the parrot, yeah, that's all that noise. They're sending you to that PAL 4 and that members exclusive. So I mean, I can't help that. That's going to be a members exclusive because y'all don't click inanimate objects. Y'all are big back. I called y'all that in the intro because y'all like the food, so we're going back to those. You got the love, soften the love. You've got the love. Okay, and this talks about being confident in your connection, right? Like if you're not confident in your connection with this person, there's no reason to be with this person. So if you want to be with this person, you're gonna have to be a little more confident with your connection, because talks about having boundaries and being codependent so that this person has the time to do other things. Because why, you know, it kind of, as much as I like that this person wants to spend all their time with you, their downtime, it feels like they almost feel like they have to. So like that's a red flag regarding you, right? When we don't want people to feel like they can't like do things with their friends and things like that, because like you got to have all the love. It's saying have boundaries, sever your need to have all the love and being codependent. Okay. And find some stuff to do. It says inner earth, you'll survive this, new solutions and beginnings. And that does talk about finding your creative spark, like what fuels you outside of this person, right? And prioritizing your goals and your ambitions and your hobbies and the things that you like, right? Because this person's like locked in, like they know what they want. They're only really attracted to you. When we talk about sensual energy, if you've been worried about them messing with other people, but it just feels like I don't know, some of you, your imagination's running away with you. All right. So let me move on to pile number 4. All right, pile 4. So I'm scared of y'all. I'm going to be honest just a little bit, because the weirdest thing just happened as I'm filming. So obviously you picked the Greek yogurt, but if we're watching it real time in the premiere, we're on pile 4, the Greek yogurt. It can be non-dairy if you're like that. Okay. Before we get into the topic, like, yes, this landed like this. You probably already saw, but like I was filming and didn't know I was filming, and I don't even know how it started, because when I went back to check like at what point did I start filming, it's almost like it started to film in a phantom on its own way, and it started filming right when I started to cleanse the deck. So it's like I cut it off for pile 3 so that I could reset, and then I started cleansing. So I don't know, some of you have to see it to believe it. You're that type. So hopefully I was able to cut it in a way where it wasn't super long and you were able to just see I was shuffling really quick, because these did come out like that. This came out first, then I think this came out, I don't know what order, whatever happened. And then a card kind of jumped into my hand and I just made it the bottom. But we got 2 moons and the new moon, which is number 1. Okay, so that's relevant in some way, considering that we are doing the Milky Moon Day on Monday, real time, filming this, well, premiering this, right? Monday is a huge deal. Or maybe this is someone that's just like really lunar in nature, but you are where you are supposed to be exactly right now. Okay, so something about this Greek yogurt. Let me move these. I'm gonna put this where it goes. That's never happened before. I'm a little bit shook. But let me just see what's going on with this person, what's gonna happen, their current feelings, and what would nourish this connection present time, like current, real time. Pick a card reading today. Okay, what's an overview for my pile number 4, my Greek yogurt? But some of you do, you're like, I have to see it fall like that or I won't believe it's like that, Onyx. And listen, your spirit team made sure that I had the footage to show you how it came out, because I don't normally film like that, and I don't even know. I'm still trying to figure out how that happened. Okay, all right, this jumped out. Incoming energy. I say incoming. Upright energy of the healer. So look, let me tell you something. You probably saw it in the little, I hope you were able to see, because I wasn't holding the decks right, because I genuinely wasn't trying to film, right? But I have healing here. So something about healing, something about a moon, like you need lunar moon energy, okay? But this person may want to heal the connection. They may want to heal something. They may be prioritizing their personal healing. They may need to heal to fully invest in the connection now the way that you need them to do so, okay? But I have the healer in Virgo energy, all right? And I've got a refining energy. So the healer is refining. This is someone that's like morphing and molding and becoming a healthier, right? A better prepared for love version of themselves. Okay. So I don't know what's going on with this Greek yogurt, but that's this person's energy. Okay. So tell me more. Spending their day-to-day prioritizing their healing, becoming a little more refined. That's kind of what's going on. So what will happen? You're gonna see an upgraded version of this person pretty soon. Whether we're talking about no contact the next time you see them, I have one of those readings coming. Be on standby for the next time you see them. But whether it's that, or if it's just you see them consistently and then one day you're going to wake up and be like, you know, this person has really been growing slowly but surely, right? Over time, right? Someone that's very diligent, that's taking their time in a way where they don't want to make any abrupt or sudden moves. They want to move with certainty. They want to move with care, okay? With all the facts and all the details, apparently, because that's that sign. Okay, and Knight of Cups. I mean, Knight of Pentacles, because there's a Knight of Pentacles that's wanting to be more of a Knight of Cups towards you, okay? They're wanting to be a little more romantic. They're wanting to be a little more playful, a little more social. 3 of Cups is when we date and have fun. They want to be a little more like that. If that's not their nature, they may be a little stale. Feels like some of you may have picked one as well, I think, because I feel like that was the energy that came out in that group. I got the 5 of Wands, which is stress and conflict and worry and competition, right? Somebody that's worried about competition, somebody that's worried possibly that you're going to go for someone that's a little more outgoing, okay? We talk about competing, okay? So I don't know if you're dating casually, if you just got you a little crush and you're like, let me see how this person feels about me. I encourage that here. I encourage that here. Let me see. Let's see. House 4. Cultural, family roots, home, peace, and comfort. Someone that feels very comfortable with you. They feel like you have a healing energy. They appreciate that. They admire that. You're 100% the type of person they feel comfortable thinking long-term with. Like, you're a person they would have no problem like bringing around their family and friends. Okay, I know we're talking about their current feelings, but like their headspace is like, yeah, Pal 4 is exactly what I would bring to my friends and family. I'm realizing that if you pick multiple piles, like especially if you pick 1 and 4, you're probably that group that picked you're probably picking that because this person is like that. I'm realizing, like, they probably eat their yogurt plain. They probably like just regular plain milk. They're the type of person that doesn't like seasonal flavors. If I'm describing them, I'm just confirming this for you. I'm confirming this for you. I've also got Gemini on the table. I've got Aries on the table. And I'm going to take this one, house 9. So possibly Gemini or Aries in the house 9 placement. But you don't have to know all that, okay? You don't have to know all that. I got house 3. All right, what's going on? It's someone that's kind of learning. This person kind of feels like, it feels like healing generational trauma, right? I got healing. This is our ancestry and our roots. This is where we ascend spiritually. This is where we're programmed in our younger days, right? Like our early learning. So something regarding that, this person feels like you would grow and evolve together in that sense. This is a person that feels you make them like better, right? Like this is someone that's like, by association of Pal 4, I, the Greek yogurt, am now a more elevated healed version of myself. I'm now more refined just because of my growth through this relationship with Pal 4. Like something about your energy, they feel like you would just by being with you and having to deal with you, interact with you every day, would tremendously force them into being more mature, more refined, more healed. They would have to just move in a way that is inherently better than what they perceive themselves as being now. I'm not saying that that's not a good thing, because the shadow would be, this person feels like it feels kind of draining, where they would just need you to make them be better, right? To motivate them. That's the worst end of the spectrum. But like here, a normal thing is, hey, you know, I want to grow, I want to elevate, and we can have a partnership where we hold each other accountable, to where we don't do things like we outgrow the habits from our youth, our childhood, and things like that, right? When we talk about the shadow traits of cultural backgrounds, where we have I don't want to say stereotypes, but like every culture has like habits kind of ingrained in them at a young age that aren't necessarily the healthiest. If you and this person share cultural roots, helping elevate beyond that. If you don't share cultural roots, you giving a difference in perspective because you didn't grow up like that. Like it kind of, that's where the person's head is. Okay. So now that we're doing all of that, what's going on? What else is this person's feelings? Tell me more about this Greek yogurt's feelings about my pile number 4, please. There we go. You're very close to achieving your goal. They feel almost close. Like they feel like they're almost there. They feel like, I guess they're almost healed enough. They're almost ready enough to be with you. When we have the full moon in Virgo, when we talk about confidence and feeling good enough, they're almost where they feel good enough to either pursue you, where we're talking about a new crush, when we talk about all of this competition, when we talk about a relationship that's progressing, they almost feel good enough to really stabilize with you beyond just the dating stage. Like they feel like they're just on the brink of it. Okay, so tell me more. Full moon in Virgo could have been something for those of you real time, since Virgo is on here twice. There was a lunar eclipse at the beginning of the year. All right. Okay, tell me more about pile 4, please. What will happen? What is this person's current feelings? What else do we need to know about this connection for today, right now? Heavy Virgo placements. Virgo, Hermit. Introspection, meditation, and relaxation. And I've got give me space. If you're talking about someone you're no contact with, break space, healing, right? This person's alone. They're to themselves. They're inside. If that's the worry, they're healing. They're actively healing. And when they come out, they're going to be someone worthy. Feels like someone that's on an ascension journey. They'll be worthy of, and feel worthy of you showing them off, of showing you off, right? I mentioned earlier, this is a person that's growing and evolving in a way to where if it truly is no contact, the next time you see them, that's not the same person in the best way. The mutual interest is still there, but it's not the same person at all, okay? Because we got this no contact, this space, and healing and being more refined and looking really good, right? Like this person, next time you see this person, they're gonna look so good. You're gonna be shocked. That's crazy that came out like that, but it's a huge deal. So I love to see it for you. All right. But what will happen, this space or this withdrawal or these hiccups, right? The growing pains you're experiencing, because some of you aren't no contact. You're dealing with this person and it's stressing you out because there are growing pains, because they're trying to grow, you're trying to grow, and it's clashing, right? Because it's either a really peaceful no contact or a really chaotic union. Okay? There's no in between here. Either way, after the ascension, the chaotic side may actually go, what's next, what's going to happen, you're probably going to have to pull back and just take space from each other and go no contact just for a little bit, and then like finish growing in that spiritual elevation that you seem to be happening. Some of you might be in a dark night of the soul, things like that. Finish that on your own and then come back in the most glow up way. Okay, that's what it looks like. Okay, when y'all asking about what's next and how you can nourish that. Some of you may need space where it's super chaotic. Others of you where it's no contact, just let it be and take that space to heal. Okay, so what is this advice? Sea of Mintaka. Yeah, Sea of Mintaka. Okay, it's asking you to see the potential and bring unconsciousness to light. And that does talk about that ascension and that elevation and the water of the sea, right? Talks about growing and evolving, seeing the potential with this person and making sure you don't stagnate, because this person's not stagnating, okay? In earth, okay? Learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. It feels like you're on an ascension journey, right? Both you and this person. There's a lot of potential in learning how to be human. You need to just step into that, lean into that, and just let the downgrades, upgrades, whatever it is, finish, okay? So that you can be the new version of you. This person can be the new version of them. All right, so thank you so much for supporting the channel. I'm gonna close it out now.